This is Ann Engar. It is January 15th, 2008.
I am Barbara Joan Kaiser Hansell at 2312 Walker Lane, Holladay, 84117, and January the 15th, 2008.
Great. Now, how long have you lived in Holladay?
For 86 years.
So that's all your life?
Mm-hmm.
And where were you born?
St. Mark's Hospital.
You were born in St. Mark's Hospital, and who were your parents?
My dad was Malcolm Aaron Kaiser, and my mother was Elizabeth Callison Kaiser.
And where were they living when you were born?
On 23, let's see, it was 122 Walker Lane. The house is right over there.
Huh. And they had lived there all their married life, or before that, or when did they first come here?
Oh, wait a minute, I made a mistake.
That's okay.
No, because I lived on Holladay Boulevard, where we had a house there that the Catholic nuns bought, and then they destroyed it and built their place there.
Oh, where the Carmelite convent is?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
And then we moved over here in 1930. So I was 9 years old.
Oh, okay. Now, was that area, was your father a farmer? Was he?
No. He was a
no.
businessman.
Oh, what kind of business was he in?
Well, he owned the Kaiser Moving and Storage.
Oh.
And he was a director of Walker Bank and Utah Power and Light. He was on a lot of committees.
My goodness.
He was very bright.
Sounds like it. So he purchased that property at some point?
He purchased this property.
The property that the Carmelite convent is on now.
Yes, he did.
And lived there for a while, and then do you know why he decided to move and why your family moved when you were 9?
Well, it was interesting because when he was a little boy, he'd come out to this property and he thought, oh, I'd love to live there someday. And so in 1930, he had the chance. The Campbells lived in the house we bought, and then the Cheesemans had another house on the property. But there were 15 acres.
My goodness.
And Dad bought it from them.
So 15 acres, was it woodland? Was there water? What?
Well, we had a lake out in front,
Uh-huh.
and we had an island in the middle.
Oh, fun.
And so we'd canoe on it in the summertime and ice skate on it in the wintertime. And it's wonderful life.
Now, did you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, my brother was 11 years older than I was, and I had my oldest sister was 9 years older, and then my youngest sister, or my sister, was 3.5 years older than I was.
So 4 of you, 3 girls and a boy.
Right.
Oh, good.
Yes.
So you lived in the one house until you were 9 years old, and then you moved closer here, and then when you married, where did you live?
I married Ted in 1940, September 23rd, and we decided, Dad gave us an acre, which is right here, and so we lived with my parents while the house was being built, and we moved in May 1941.
My goodness, so you have lived in this house for 66 years.
Yes.
So did you design the house, the two of you, or?
Oh, I guess we did, with Mother's help, because she loved architecture.
Oh.
And so with her help, we did it.
Oh, that's great. And how have you noticed Holladay changing over these years that you've lived here?
Well, a lot of changes. The traffic, for one thing, is just impossible. And it's lost its appeal, or whatever you call it. It was great the way it used to be, in other words.
Kind of a rural community?
Yes, yes.
Other people have said to me that everybody knew everybody else.
Pretty much
And
so.
there was a feeling of community that way.
Uh-huh. Well, see, we all went to, well, of course, Bud went to the schools around here.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to Andover and graduated from Harvard.
Now this is your brother.
Mm-hmm. And then the three girls, we all went to Roland Hall
Oh,
for 12 years.
wow.
And so we really didn't know too many people in Holladay because of it. There were some who went to Roland Hall.
And how did you get to Roland Hall?
My dad would drive us there in the morning, and then he'd pick us up at 5 o'clock in the afternoon to come home. It was a long day.
That would be, and I'm assuming school let out maybe 3 o'clock or so. So what did you do in the intervening hours?
Well, we had study hall,
Uh-huh.
or we had they had tea time where we could go and have something to drink and cookies at the school.
So there were other children who had to wait for their
Yes.
parents too.
Yes, uh-huh.
What were the rides with your father like into
Wonderful.
school?
The only, well, I'll say one thing.
Okay.
I should get emotional.
No, that's, of course you will.
But anyway, I am so grateful because he drilled me on my multiplication tables from home to school, from school to home, and I still know my multiplication tables. And I'm so grateful to him for doing it, because instead of adding up a lot of figures, I just multiply them. It's so much faster.
Oh, sure. That's great.
So I'm grateful to him for that.
Now, what kind of car did he drive?
Well, first he had a Cadillac,
Uh-huh.
and Mother had a Buick. And then after the, what do you call it? Bad times. What's the
The
word?
Depression.
The Depression. After the Depression, then he got an Oldsmobile, and then Mother stayed with the Buick.
Well, they were kind of isolated here. It was good that both of them had cars.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you needed it.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Are there some particular people from the early days of Holladay that you remember?
Well, I remember Walker Wallace and John Wallace. They lived up at the end of the lane. And I'd go over, they had a tennis court, and I'd go and play tennis with them. And then my Uncle Paul, my dad's youngest brother, lived across the street, and the house is still there. And he had a tennis court and a swimming pool, so that was really nice for us.
Sounds like a good summertime activity.
Oh, definitely.
So what were the Walker brothers like?
Very, very nice. Very nice. I really enjoyed knowing him and playing tennis with him.
So they played fair and they were good players?
Oh, yes. Good. Oh, definitely. And they were very competitive. They wanted to win.
Well, to be successful, I guess they had to have that personality.
But that's good for me.
That's true. That's true. When you were a little girl, what did you look like?
Well, I had red hair, which surprises everybody now. It was, they called it auburn.
Mm-hmm.
And I had real curly hair when I was a baby. And my sister Betty had curly hair. Mine was curlier than hers. But I lost mine for some reason or other. Didn't have a high fever or anything, but she kept hers till the day she passed away.
Hmm.
And I was so envious of her. And then, see, Bud had red hair, and then Helen was brunette, like Mother's.
Now, were your family part of the Utah Pioneers, or did they come a little bit later?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I really I don't know.
That's okay.
Sorry to say that. Mother was born in Des Moines, Iowa, and my dad was born here in Salt Lake City.
When you dressed to go to school, what did you wear a uniform?
Oh, yes.
What was the uniform like?
Well, the summer uniforms were kind of like a light blue and not very good looking. The winter ones, we had navy blue skirts and a white shirt and a navy blue jacket. So the winter uniforms were really nice looking.
Mm-hmm. You said you wore a uniform in the summer. Did you have to go to school during the summer?
No, I should say fall and spring.
Oh, when it was
sorry about
cooler.
that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yes.
And how about when you got home? What did you like to wear when you get home? I imagine the uniform came off.
Oh, yes. Well, it's so funny because in those days, Mother was against pants, and so we just put on another dress, probably. And I was always so grateful to Katharine Hepburn for starting the ladies being able to wear slacks, because finally Mother said, okay. But I did wear shorts in the summertime. I did.
It'd be very hot. I mean, how did they keep houses cool in those days before air conditioning?
Oh, we just opened the windows. And I remember so well in the wintertime, we didn't have the good medicines we have nowadays. So in every Saturday, Mom would have all the windows and doors open and to air the house out. And then in the afternoon, they'd shut all the doors and windows, and then the heat would have to heat the house up again.
Oh, my. And was it coal heat?
Yes. And my cute dad, he'd get up every morning around 5 o'clock and turn the furnace on, because they turn the furnace off at night.
Oh, uh-huh.
So he'd get up and turn it on so the house would be warm for the rest of us.
Oh,
He was great.
He was good. What's one of your best memories of childhood?
Well, there were a lot of them. Boy, that's hard to say. I had a good childhood. And even though we had the Depression, my dad and Mom made it nice for us. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that the Depression wasn't as hard on them as on many other people. I mean, we were lucky.
Yeah, it sounds like he was employed and made plenty of money during that time. So
he did.
That's good.
And of course, Mother didn't work. No, not in those days.
No. Who were your best friends?
Well, my best friend lived uptown, Maybelle Porter. And then I'd play with Jane Cowan, lived on that house at the corner of Cottonwood and Walker Lane, and Pat Ryder and Woody Chamberlain Brown. And Pat Ryder taught me how to ride a bicycle when I was 12. And for some reason, Mother and Dad didn't want me to have a bicycle. I don't know why. But anyway, I'll never forget this Christmas. I asked for one, and I thought, well, I'll never get it. Well, I came down the stairs. Oh, I wish you could have seen that house over there. I came down the stairs, and I could see the bicycle wheel in the Christmas lights.
Oh.
It was just great. And fortunately, it was a mild winter. So I hopped on the bicycle, went over to Pat Ryder's and Whitty's to show them what I got.
Well,
So that's
fun.
one Christmas special.
Oh, that's a great story. You mentioned you went to Roland Hall St. Mark's. Were there any teachers in
Well,
particular?
see, there wasn't St. Mark's.
It was just
just Roland
Roland Hall
Hall.
at that
Just
point.
a girls' school.
Just a girls' school.
Yes.
And when did it become co-ed? Do you know? Was that way after your time?
Oh, way after.
Uh-huh.
Yes, way after.
Was there one teacher in particular who stands out in your mind?
Oh, yes. It was in the 9th grade, and she was the English teacher, and I just loved her. And we read Tales of Two Cities, and I loved that book. Still do. And so I bought it at the end of the year and had her sign it.
Oh, how nice.
And she wrote in it, she said, "Thank you for making my first year here so nice."
So was that her first year teaching or just her first year at Roland Hall? Do you know?
I'm not sure,
Huh.
but she was a wonderful teacher. She was my favorite.
What kinds of things would you do for fun?
Well, we'd go to the movies, and when I was a teenager, we loved to ballroom dance. And we'd go down every weekend, we'd go to Jerry Jones' Ballroom, and they bring in good orchestras. And then that's really, Ted knew who I was, and I knew who he was, but we didn't start dating. My first date was July the 1st, 1939.
Oh, you remember, my goodness.
And he took me to Lagoon. So I've always had a special place in my heart for Lagoon.
And what was Lagoon like then? What kinds of things did you do there?
Oh, they had a big dancing pavilion with a good orchestra. And they had the roller coaster and the fun house. And we'd go out there a lot in the summertime. We liked Lagoon better than Salt Air. So, but Ted was a good dancer. Really good dancer. And I went to dancing school, probably when I was 13, ballroom dancing. And I was the tallest one. Well, I was the tallest one in the class, and then I was the tallest one there. So they made me be the boy.
Oh, no.
And so when Ted and I danced, he said, "Will you please let me lead?" And then I have to kind of brag because this dancing school, there were some boys, and I don't know if you're familiar with the Continental. It was, well, anyway, they taught us the Continental. And this boy, he was the best dancer there. It wasn't Ted. And so we danced the Continental, and we won the trophy.
Wow.
It was so much fun. But, oh, that ballroom dance. I feel so sorry for my children because they didn't have any of that.
Now, you said you went to ballroom dancing class. Where were classes held?
Well, the funny part of it is they were held above the Wonder Bread Bakery uptown.
Oh, the one that's kind of 4th South?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And so, and the dance was on the floor above the bakery. So sometimes we'd sneak down there and fool around with the bread.
Well, and all those luscious smells coming up through the floor.
Oh, I know.
Oh, that would be great. Where did you shop?
Uptown.
So that's where you bought your clothes and things like
Yes, ZCMI on South Temple.
that? Uh-huh.
And then Arbacks and the Paris and the KOBs were on 3rd South. And, Mom would take me shopping for a dress or something, and we'd go to ZCMI, And I liked the dress. And she said, oh, no, let's walk down to the other three. So we looked at the other three. Mother loved to walk. Well, Dad did too. Both of them loved to walk. So, and she could outwalk all three of the girls. Well, anyway, so we go down there to the other three stores. And then she decides, well, let's get the one that sees CMI.
So you'd walk back.
Oh, yes, for sure.
And how about groceries? Where did you get your food?
Well, there was a George Anderson's grocery store at the end of Walker Lane and Highland Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd call in and he'd deliver it.
Oh, great.
In those days.
That's helpful.
Yes, it was.
And you said you liked to go to the movies. Where did you go to the movies, and what were some of your favorites?
Well, we had to go downtown, and so we'd have to get Mom to take us, drive us down, and then we'd go to Keeley's. It was a wonderful place to eat. And then, Jerome Power I had a crush on him.
Oh, my mother did too.
Oh, he's so handsome. He was my favorite.
Wow.
Yes.
I can understand. When, did you get to go on vacations or different outings with your family and friends?
Yes. Dad would take us up to Yellowstone, and we'd stay in a cabin, and that was fun. And, being the youngest, my brother and Helen, Bud and Helen, had a lot more opportunities than Betty and I. First, because of the Depression, so they traveled a lot in the States. But so Betty and I didn't have all that opportunity. And of course, I was so movie struck that I loved Los Angeles. So I wanted to go to Los Angeles, and Mother loved Carmel and San Francisco. But my favorite was Los Angeles.
So when you were in Los Angeles, where did you go?
Well, we'd stay with friends down there, family friends. We used to call them aunt and uncle, even though they weren't. So we'd stay with them. And then, I went to college down there.
No, I didn't. Where did you go to school?
Well, I went to Holmby College. And it was in Holmby Hills. And it was near UCLA. So we had UCLA professors.
Oh.
So it was wonderful. And I went there 1 year, and then the war started. And all the time I was down there, I was worried about the Germans. And so Ted and I decided, we were so afraid that he'd go to war. So we got married. I just went 1 year to Holmby, and then I came home. And then we were married in September 23rd, 1940.
And what was he doing at the time? Was he going to school? Was he working?
No, he worked for the newspaper,
Oh.
Salt Lake Tribune and the Deseret News.
And what did he do for them?
He was a graphic artist.
Oh.
And we were so lucky. He was an only child. And we were so lucky because he never went overseas. And he went in April 4th, 1942. And first he went to Tucson, and then he went to Santa Ana. He wanted to be a pilot. And then he went to Mariloma Flight Academy. And he was gone for 2 months, and so I thought, well, I'm going to go down and be with him. So in Tucson, and it was everybody in Tucson just opened their hearts up to the Air Force. And every weekend we had dances there again. And then he was sent to Santa Ana, and he had to be on base for 6 weeks. And my sister Betty and her husband lived in Los Angeles. So while he was at Santa Ana, I stayed with them in Los Angeles. And he'd get to come up on, when the 6 weeks was over, then he'd come up and stay for Saturday night. And we'd go to the Biltmore Hotel and stay.
Oh, fun.
And then he was transferred to Mira Loma Flight Academy, which is Oxnard, California. And so we went there, and I got a job with the civil service. And I didn't know how to type, but I could hunt and peck as fast as almost anybody else. So I got a job there in Air Corps. And so then we stayed there for about 3 years. And then he was transferred to Victorville. Oh, he was washed out in primary. He didn't have the depth perception when he tried to land the plane. So but they wanted him to stay there. They knew he had a photographic background because photography was his love. So they transferred us to Victorville, and he was a radar photographer, which was perfect for him.
Yeah.
And then I got a job there, and then we stayed there, and then at the end, about September 1945, he was sent to Sheridan, Illinois. We never could figure out why, because it really wasn't photography or air, but anyway, we went. So we rented a room in a house in Highland Park, and the people were just wonderful to us. And we'd go down to Chicago every weekend so we could see the plays. And it was winter time, and I remember he'd have to go to the base early. We had a car, and he went to the base early. So I'd have to stand out to get a ride, and it was cold. I'll never forget how cold it was waiting for my ride outside. But I was so lucky that I worked everywhere he was stationed. And I worked my way up to a CAF-4 from a 1. So I was proud of that.
So is that civilian Air Force, or what is it?
No, civil service.
Civil service.
Yes.
What were some of the very best times of your marriage?
Oh, just all the time. I mean, we were lucky. And being able to be with him all the time. It was great. We went dancing a lot on the air bases. They always had dancing. And like I said, in Chicago, we'd go down to the plays, and it was just wonderful to be with him. And I was so lucky.
Now, children. Tell me about Craig and when he came. And
Okay. Craig was born March the 10th, 1947. And, he was a delight. But one thing, he loved to run. And so if I let him outside, I had to be with him because of this area. I could lose him very quickly. And so he was active, but he was so good, so good. He never complained, never cried. He was a delight. And then Jeff was born in August in 1950, and he was very mellow, and I was happy about that.
it's a contrast to Craig, huh?
Yeah. But don't get me wrong about Craig. He was wonderful.
Yeah.
He was just active. But he was wonderful. And then Carol was born March the 15th in 54. And when, see, I had the 2 boys, and then I was found out I was pregnant, and my dad said to me, "You've got 2 wonderful boys. I hope you have a baby girl." And so he died 2 weeks to the day before she was born.
Oh.
But I know that he knows.
He predicted the whole thing.
Yes, he did. And so I thought I'd had 3 boys, see. So when Carol was born, the doctor said, "Oh, you've got a beautiful daughter." And I said, "You bring her in here. I don't believe you."
And where were each of your children born?
St. Mark's.
In St. Mark's Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any favorite stories about them?
Well, they've all been just wonderful. They've been wonderful to me. And they've all been easy. I've had no complaints. I'm lucky. I was blessed. They've all been just great. And they still are. They still are.
So once you had children, you stayed home and took care of them?
Yes, yes.
And did Ted go back to working for the Deseret News and Salt Lake Tribune?
Yes, yes.
As the graphic designer?
Yes, and he worked there 50 years.
Long time.
Yes, I'll say.
What kind of family traditions do you have?
Well, let's see. Christmas was very special. Every year it was special. And they made a lot of it. And I'll never forget, Mother was very picky about how the tree was decorated. They get big, big trees. And she was very persnickety about how it was decorated. And so my brother Bud would lie down on the floor, stretched out, and you know the icicles or rain, he'd throw them one at a time onto the tree, and Mom would just have a fit. Of course, he was loving every minute of it.
And how about you, when you had your family? Were there any traditions that you established or thought were important?
Well, I made a lot of Christmas too. That was my favorite holiday, so I kept it up. And I'd take the children down to see the Santa Claus parade every year. And then when after Dad passed away, Mother, you know, they had the Cottonwood Club over here.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, she knew how much I loved tennis. So she said, "I think you should your family should join the Cottonwood Club." So Dad had left us some money, so we joined the club. And so the boys could swim, well, Carol too. And then Carol really loved tennis. And so we'd play mother and daughter tournaments. And it was great.
And you still play tennis now?
Oh yes, I played this morning for an hour and a half.
Wow, that's greght.
Do you know anything about tennis?
I
Do you
do.
know what an ace is?
I do.
I want to serve an ace and drop dead. And I've told everybody. So the other day I served an ace, and my partner turned around, "Don't you die. You stay. I need you."
So you play doubles then?
Yes. Oh yeah, I can't play singles anymore. I need a partner.
I think it's great you're playing.
Well, I love every minute of it. I play every Tuesday, and then we used to play every Thursday a foursome, and I'm the oldest one in the foursome, and the other 3 can't play anymore.
Oh.
And then sometimes when they need a sub on Friday, I'll play then.
So do you still play at the Cottonwood Country Club? Or
No, it got too expensive,
Uh-huh.
so I got a senior membership. The children were all grown then. I got a senior membership at the Salt Lake Swimming and Tennis Club,
Oh,
and
fun.
I just love it.
So who's your partner?
Well, we switch partners. I play with Marion Soderberg and Kay Wallace and Merle Meyer, Renee Danes. I mean, you know, she plays with us on Friday, or I should say I play with her. But it's fun. And you know, you play a set and then you switch partners.
Yeah, that is fun.
And then may I brag a little?
Sure, go.
Well, I went on this tennis cruise in the Caribbean.
Oh, fun.
And we played in Barbados and Curacao and St. Thomas. Well, my very best friend went with me, but she couldn't play tennis anymore. She was older than I was. And so with the mixed doubles, you keep track of the games you won, and you always switch partners. Well, I won the mixed doubles on Craig's birthday, and then I won the women's doubles on Carol's birthday.
How exciting.
I mean, it was just meant to be.
Coincidental there.
It was great. And I was so thrilled, and I never dreamed. There were two ladies from California who bragged all the time about how good they were. And so when I beat them, perfect strangers on board ship would come up and say, "Thank you for beating those two." But it was just so great. I'll never forget it.
Now tell me about grandchildren.
Well, they're all special. I have 7 grandsons. The oldest one's 27. In fact, he's the one who gave me this vest. He's up in Montana. And then I have the youngest one's a granddaughter, which is nice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and oh, I'm so lucky with all of them. And I miss Fraser so. Oh, I wish he wasn't on his mission.
Well, he's having incredible adventures in South Africa.
I know it. I've got to look at it that way. Well, you know, Judson and Fraser were 14 months apart. And they came over here, and I have a playroom in there. In fact, I'll let you see it before you go. But they loved dinosaurs, 12-inch men, 16 Army men, Jeeps, all those things. And that room was set aside for them, and I won't let it. They said, "Oh, why don't you, you know, have everybody come and get their toys?" I said, "No, I have to die first." And I go in there and look around, and they had so much fun. They were so creative. And I'd sit and read, and I'd be sitting and reading, and I'd hear them talk. And not once did they quarrel.
Ah,
Not once.
that's great.
Oh, it was just perfect.
Fun to get to listen in on the whole thing.
Oh, I know it. And to hear how creative they were. I mean, I was lucky. Connor and his cousin used to play over here. But of course, they didn't have all the great toys. They had cars. But I think of all the grandchildren, Fraser and Judson had the most fun.
So you were really involved in raising children and having grandchildren over and
yes.
playing tennis.
Yes.
Were there other community organizations or clubs or things that you were involved in too?
Well, I was started out as a room mother, and then I worked my way up. I was president of Olympus Junior PTA when Craig was 9th grade. And then I was president of the Granite Secondary Council, which is all the secondary schools, for 2 years. I loved that. And then I was president of Cottonwood High School, first president of Cottonwood High School, for 2 years.
Great.
Oh, I mean, I've lived a wonderful life.
So you started the great PTA tradition at Cottonwood.
Yes, it was great. And I had this wonderful Dr. Walquist principal. Anything I wanted, he'd see to it that I had it. And I had wonderful board members. I mean, I was so lucky.
What kinds of events did you put on?
Well, we were in charge of the lunchroom, you know, and then we had a membership, you know, they get money from the parents for the membership to run the PTA. And I think the reason that I was granted secondary council PTA was because when I was after I left Olympus Junior, I took all the memberships from all the secondary schools of the year before and then matched them with the year that I was doing it. And I think that kind of impressed them. But I just loved it. Just loved it.
When you said that you were in charge of the lunchroom, did you kind of monitor the children's behavior, or what did you do?
Well, no. We just wanted to be sure everything ran smoothly. And then we, you know, we were in charge of the dances they had at Cottonwood High. I love that school. They just cannot shut that down. I just love it over there.
Now, was Carol the one that went there?
Yes.
Did the boys go to Olympus High?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think are some important lessons you've learned in your life?
Well, I think that you have to have a good outlook on life and be very friendly. In fact, at the tennis club, you know, I'm friendly with all the people who work there. And this lady told me the other day, she said, "You're amazing. A lot of the members don't even know these people's names." But you know, just because they work there doesn't mean I just like to be friendly. And I've kind of been that way all my life.
Well, you've certainly been jolly as you've been talking to me. I enjoy it very much. What do you think you're proudest of in your life?
My family. Definitely my family.
And how long have you been a widow?
Ted passed away in 1995.
So 12 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
In August 15th, 1995.
so? How did life change at that point?
Well, you know, fortunately, I more or less, well, I did all the finances beforehand, you know, so, you know, it wasn't anything new. And I did a lot of, because I was home, I used to work in the yard and take care of everything and fix their lunches and clean the house. So that really helped me. But I certainly missed Ted for sure.
Oh, yeah.
He was funny, man. Oh.
Can you give me an example of when he was funny?
Well, he'd say these things, and people would laugh. So I'd go to the tennis club with my friends, and I'd say the same things, and they just looked shocked. And finally, Jeff said to me, "Mother, Dad could say these things, you can't." And I said, "Jeff, thank you for telling me, because it never occurred to me." But Ted was so funny, he really was. And you know, he was an only child, like I say, and his mother and dad came over from England, and his grandmother. And his grandmother really brought him up because his mother had to work, and she was in charge of the millinery department at Makeoffs.
Oh, uh-huh.
So, but anyway,
So do you know why they came here from England?
Well, first her husband came over, and then he sent for Annie. Her name was Annie, and Sarah was the mother, and so the two of them came over. And I really can't remember why he settled in Salt Lake. But Annie was the most wonderful mother-in-law you could ever hope to have. I mean, she really spoiled me. She said I couldn't do enough for her. She was just marvelous. So I'm trying to be the good mother-in-law too. Take after her, and I hope I've succeeded.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
I hope so.
Well, one more question. How would you like to be remembered?
Well, I hope people know that I'm a nice person, I hope, a giving person, and that I just love everybody I met. And I hope they all remember that.
Thank you. It has been a real pleasure talking to you. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, I hope that, let's see. Well, I have to laugh at my dad because he was a director of Utah Power and Light. So he insisted that we turn the lights off when we left the room. So it's just a natural for me to do it. And so Ted was behind me, and I turned the light off, and he said, well, you could at least wait till I get out of the room. See how funny he was? But I'm so glad the way I was brought up. So lucky. Wonderful parents, wonderful brother and sisters. And of course, I'm the youngest one, and I'm the only one left. Which that's the way it's supposed to be.
And then you turn towards the future, and the children and the grandchildren.
Right, right. And see, my brother's house is just down the lane here, and he built it the same year we built ours. And then Helen lived in this house that was already here. And then my sister Betty married a doctor, and a medical doctor, and they lived in Los Angeles. So.
And you said you stayed with her during the war, too.
Yes, but it's so strange because here we were stationed in California most of the war, and yet my sister's, Betty's husband, was from L.A., but they sent him to Kearns.
Oh.
So they lived in our house while we were gone, which is a good idea, you know. And in fact, they paid off our mortgage. Wasn't that wonderful?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So when we came back from the war, we owned our house.
Oh, that was, as a young couple, what a financial blessing.
Oh, it was wonderful. We were so lucky. Yeah. See why I count my blessings every night?
I see. I see. Well, anything else you wanted to talk about?
Well, I think I bragged enough.
Oh, I think you've led a wonderful life.
Well, I
Thank
know.
you so much.
I count my blessings every night. And I said to Carol the other day, I said, you know, I wouldn't have changed one thing in my lifetime. Not one thing. And I said, how many people could say that?
Not a lot, that's for sure.
I'm so blessed.
All right, well, thank you very much.